Welcome to Lesson 1. And today our topic is, what on earth am I here for? And there's many different options in life that you can, and you probably already have, checked out to see if they work for you. But as far as my experience is concerned, in trying those things, let's put it this way. To begin with, inside of me, I had an empty place, something that was crying out and wanting something more in life. And so what did I do? I tried like all of us do. We go out and we just try everything that life has to offer, and we find out that that empty place is still there. It's still inside of us. And so we have to come to the conclusion that what do? We have to find something that will fill that void, that empty place inside of us like nothing else can. So here today with Lesson 1, you can see on our screen here, what on earth am I here for? And underneath the picture, let's talk about the picture for a moment. The picture is a picture of the whole world. That's the globe. That's everybody on the planet is asking this same question. Can you believe that? Can you imagine deep in the jungle somewhere, somebody has been yearning and wanting and saying to themselves, there's got to be more than what I've experienced so far in my life? Can you imagine that living in the mountains somewhere, there's someone with an empty place, place that they've tried different things in their culture and their society, but it's still empty. All over the world, they're asking the same question. And that question is, isn't there more? What am I here for? What am I doing? What is my plan? What am I supposed to be doing? What is my purpose? So this is the question. Underneath we have it in Tagalog. And bakit naga ba ako nabubuhay sa mundong ito? And this is the question that we're answering. So let's just quickly run through some of the options. So option number 1 is maybe mysticism. I mean, really going out to find the cosmic consciousness and the ultimate truth and that which is floating out in space somewhere, and be able to find the intricate molecules that are weaving in and out in the stream of life. So mysticism, knowledge or personal experience of levels of consciousness, including those with a supreme being. So that's what it is. These are approaches to life. These are things that people have tried and are trying, that are caught up in. But there's one thing that still is true. There's still that empty place, that void, that nothing that they have tried can fill. So mysticism, mist yonsong karan asan. So that, imagine all over the people that are trying all kinds of different cultures and societies through mysticism to reach a God. But the one thing that I found out in my limited experience is that I really didn't want a cosmic consciousness. I didn't want the ultimate truth that's floating around out there. I wanted something more personal, something that cared about my little old life and where I was and what I was doing. So mysticism. Others try through the avenue of thinking and the purpose of life, a philosophical, the basic ground, where the rubber meets the road, where you have to say, what is it all about? And after you go through all of the aesthetic words and thoughts, you come down to one idea. And that idea is that it's just to stay alive, to keep living. So philosophical area needs a little bit of help. So no matter if you're Socrates or Aristotle, they were all searching for the same thing. They were all trying to fill that empty place, that void inside. So what do we have next? Naturalist. And the purpose of life, a naturalist would say basically, is just to perpetuate itself. To that life, that the stream, that the genealogy, that the system, that the lineage would continue on. It's just the natural way of looking at the species. In fact, that key word was used by Darwin. So for biological reasons, it says here. So the naturalist. Now we come to one that is very popular today in cultures all over the world, and that is the hedonist. The purpose of life is pleasure. So pleasure, what all these things, what happens to all of these? Pleasure in what? Drugs, pleasure in alcohol, pleasure in whatever it is. Just seeking pleasure, and then after the pleasure, what is the feeling that we all have? It's still empty inside. And so we've got to go on to the next one. So, materialist. If you can't find it in all of those other things, then go for the bucks. Go for money. Go for that which will give you everything that you ever wanted you could buy. Life is measured by the things that you own. So if you have enough money, you can own anything you want. You will be happy. You won't need anybody. You won't need anything. You are a materialist. And how many of us are caught in that? But still, at the end of the day, inside of our hearts, it's still what? Empty. It brings us to question number 1 in the options of life. The question's number 1. Why? 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 I used to think, I used to ask how, was one of my favorite questions. But if you boil it down, if you get down to the very essence of what this life is all about, you've got to ask the question why. And many times I ask the question why about if you decide to do something, for example, and I ask myself, I say, well, why do you want to do that? Or why do you want to buy that? Why do you want to this or that? And I try to get down to the very essence of the question, why? Why am I alive? The question of existence. Why are we here? And we're talking about this because we all need to understand that we're all in the same or on the same planet. We all have the same feelings. And these feelings are all these different options of life that we've been looking at. The different things that we try, that we have tried. And still we come to the bottom line. The question of existence must be answered by something else. Why am I alive? Bucket. So where do we go for answers to these kind of questions? What do we try to find some ancient wisdom, right? We try to find something that is existed for a long time, for thousands of years, that spans the generations, the eons of time, and still is true for the times that we live in. Why is that accurate? Why is that correct? Because we're all still human beings, no matter when we were born, whether it was thousands of years ago or now. We're still asking the same question, as Jeremiah did, as many others did. Why was I born? Was it only to have trouble and sorrow and to end my life in disgrace? So these people ask these questions. Solomon was another one. All right, no matter where you go to look for answers to these questions, you'll find people like Solomon. And he said in Proverbs chapter 16, the Lord has made everything. Oh, so he began to frame it in a picture of everything that is made, everything that exists has a what? A purpose. So this is what Solomon is telling us. Then we continue on. We find out, for example, someone that was changed in life, the Apostle Paul. I mean, what a radical transformation. What could do that to someone? How many of us are out there somewhere in some country, in some culture, that we think we're never going to change? We are the hardest nut to crack. Well, you probably aren't the hardest nut to crack. You probably haven't done all that Saul, the Apostle Paul, had done. And then, what does he write? What did he find that could help us? He says, long before he laid down the earth's foundations, this is talking about God, he had us in mind and settled on us as the focus of his love. Now, wait a minute, because we're not talking about the cosmic consciousness here. We're not talking about materialism or the basic biological needs to survive and carry on. No, we're talking about emotions. We're talking about something or someone that cares, is thinking, in our concept, thinking about us, that has focused, as it says in the bottom of the line there, focused his love. My goodness. What is this? What are we talking about this? So, could it be that there isn't a cosmic consciousness, or that the cosmic consciousness floating around way out there is at the same time a very personal God, someone who cares, thinks about us, cares about us, has planned for us, has purpose for us? The answer, why am I alive, as it says here, I was created to be loved by God. Now, I always think about purposes and plans and strategies and all of these things. And that's important. And that's the a focus that we'll come to. But before all of that happens, I had a friend that recently passed away, a longtime friend, who, if you just think about death and what it means to die, you've got to first of all have taken care of your original purpose in life. And that is to have a relationship with a loving, caring God, a relationship with someone who cares about you and your life. And so this is first. Before all the plans and strategies and all of that, consider that to understand that you were created to be loved. You are not an accident that just happened here on planet Earth. You are cared about. And that's our lesson 1 for today. And we thank you for being with us, and we look forward to share with you lesson 2. God bless you. Think about these things. Bye-bye. We love you.